Name is Annie, and welcome to the Walking Word, where we go through the Holy Bible in a year as part of discipling. We are currently reading from the book of Deuteronomy. We're in Deuteronomy chapter 21, and here we're looking at expiation of untraced murder. So, when murder has happened and we cannot trace who it is, God is giving some uh, Moses is expounding further on this law. Remember, Deuteronomy is the culmination of the Pentateuch. The Pentateuch, the first five books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is just, it's almost like a culmination of all the first four books. It's a historical book, it's an exposition of the law, it is God reiterating his covenant with man, with the Israelites. It's Moses bidding his farewell because he won't be entering the promised land. So, Deuteronomy 21. If the corpse of a slain man, killed man, is found lying in the open on the land which the Lord your God is giving you to occupy, and it is not known who killed him, your elders and judges shall go out and measure the distances to the cities that are in the neighborhood of the corpse. Oh, so this is forensics, eh? When it is established which city is nearest to the corpse, the elders of that city shall take a heifer that has never been put to work as a draft animal under a yoke, and bringing it down to a wadi with an ever-flowing stream at a place that has not been plowed or sown, they shall cut the heifer's throat there in the wadi. The priests, the descendants of Levi, shall also be present, for the Lord your God has chosen them to minister to him and to give blessings in his name, and every case of dispute or violence must be settled by their decision. Then all the elders of that city nearest the corpse shall wash their hands over the heifer whose throat was cut in the wadi, and shall declare, our hands did not shed this blood, and our eyes did not see the deed. Absolve, O Lord, your people Israel, whom you have ransomed, and let not the guilt of the shedding of innocent blood remain in the midst of your people Israel. Thus they shall be absolved from the guilt of bloodshed, and you shall purge from your midst the guilt of innocent blood, that you may prosper for doing what is right in the sight of the Lord. Marriage to a female captive. When you go out to war against your enemies and the Lord your God delivers them in your hand, so that you take captives, if you see a comely woman among the captives and become so enamored of her that you wish to have as your wife, you may take her home to your house. But before she may live there, she must shave her head and pare her nails and lay aside her captive garb. After she has mourned her father and her mother for a full month, you may have relations with her, and you shall be her husband and she shall be your wife. However, if later on you lose your liking for her, you shall give her her freedom if she wishes it, but you shall not sell her or enslave her, since she was married to you under compulsion. Oh, when you see the heart of the father, this is part of the heart of the father. Okay, you've gone to a place, you guys have conquered them. You see a babe there, she's pretty, you think she can make a good wife and things like that. Okay, fine, no problem. But give her time to mourn her family. Do not bring her into that captivity of that feeling of being taken advantage of. Give her time to mourn her family. I mean, this is just the heart of a dad. Give her time, and after that, let her not dress like a slave. Do not let her wear the slave's garb. And later on, if you feel like, oh my God, maybe it was just infatuation, I don't like her anymore, you want to let her go, do not sell her off as a slave. You took her in as your wife, release her in peace. Whoa. If a man with two wives loves one and dislikes the other, and if both bear him sons, but the firstborn is of whom he dislikes, when he comes to bequeath his property to his sons, he may not consider as his firstborn the son of the wife he loves, in preference to his true firstborn, the son of the wife whom he dislikes. On contrary, he shall recognize as his firstborn the son of her whom he dislikes, giving him a double share of whatever he happens to own, since he is the first fruits of his manhood, and to him belongs the rights of the firstborn. So just because you got a second wife and now you think you like that second wife, and now you want to give the inheritance to the firstborn of the second wife. Nah, nope, not under God's watch. The firstborn from the first wife, that is your true inheritance. That is the heritage. That is where, and they will get a double portion. So whether you like your first wife or not, too late. If a man has a stubborn or unruly son who will not listen to his father or mother and will not obey them, even though they chastise him, his father and mother shall have him apprehended and brought out to the elders at the gate of his home city, where they shall say to those in the city, elders, the sons of yours is a stubborn and unruly fellow who will not listen to us. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Then all his fellow citizens shall stone him to death. Thus shall you purge the evil from your midst, and all of Israel, and hearing of it shall you fear. Aha. So this ties into the story of the prodigal son, the incorrigible son, the prodigal son, the lost sheep. So when this is why you see the father of the prodigal son runs towards him. When people see him, remember this was part of the culture. If you're an unruly child, you're taken away and you're stoned and you're chased away. You get? You're actually, the whole idea was to stone him to death. But I think over the years, the culture changed in a way that you'd be sent away. You're causing stress to your parents and things like that. You're purged from the community. And this is the heart of the father. The father ran towards the son and clothed him, asked for fine clothes. And everyone is aghast, like, huh? We're meant to stone him. We're meant to purge him out of this place. We're meant to discard him. He no longer belongs to us. This is where that law comes from. In Jewish cultures, it's called kezaza. This purging away of unruly, stubborn, defiant, drunkard, just gluttonous or wicked children. Basically, that's where the law comes from. And later on in the New Testament, when we're reading, when Jesus is expounding on the kingdom of God and the heart of God for his children, and it's this law he's referring to, kezaza, that unstable child who's defiant and everything, but the heart of the father cannot watch as his son is just loses life like that. Verse 22. If a man guilty of capital offense is put to death and his corpse is hung on a tree, it shall not remain on the tree overnight. You shall bury it the same day. Otherwise, since God's curse rests on him who hangs on a tree, you will defile the land which the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance. Again, this is a foreshadow of Christ. Cast be the man on the tree. And that's why after he died and gave up his spirit, they brought him down and put him in the tomb. And this is where Joseph put his life, his influence and everything. He put it on the line by going to Pilate and actually asking for the body of Jesus. So this is also a foreshadow, which we'll see during the crucifixion of Jesus later on in the Gospels. We continue in chapter 22.